This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
So nothing is off limits.
Good morning, everyone. Well, our little girl's out in the world, making her way. Me and Charlie holding down the store today. So, you're nuts.
Hey, baby.
All right.
It could be.
Yeah, always. All right, so let's get started. Capes and Lunatics 109 starts right now. And we're pressed for time. Let's get into it. Yeah, welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, and as I said, joining as always, that handsome man.
I got a legendary.
Oh, very good. Charlie, the Professor Esser. And Ben caught a legendary Pokemon.
Sounds good.
It's all good.
All right. Want to talk a bunch of stuff today, but you want to jump into Jessica Jones first?
Yeah, so we'll do a little of Jessica Jones because it gives us a chance to hype the AKA Jones cast coming back for one more third and final season over on Capes and Lunatics and enough said. Yes. Okay. So I was just waiting for the music to start. Yeah. That's a very long intro song today. I don't know. Seemed longer than usual, but I might just be more tired than usual. Yeah, so Jessica Jones, she's back from outer space. This came in to find you there. With that said, look up on your face. Favorite part about this is Tricia's training montage.
Oh yeah, in the beginning of episode 2, yeah.
Yeah, because what I liked about that was it did show that, you know what, just because you have strength or speed, it doesn't automatically make you good at something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That, I mean, it gave her an advantage, gives her that certain, you know, those cat-like reflexes and that cat-like speed, but that she still had to learn to use it. And I like that because, you know, when we had the end of the previous season where she drops her phone and she catches it on her foot.
That she tries to.
And then of course she immediately tries again and she can't do it. You know.
Drops the phone.
That was a great scene.
Yeah. And then that guy that Jessica meets at the end of episode 1, is that Fool Killer?
No. It's well, I mean, yeah. Do you want the spoiler on it? Is so actually. The guy she meets at the end of episode 1, yes, that is Fool Killer.
Oh, okay.
But not the guy that she meets at the end of episode 1.
Okay.
The stabby guy, you know. And here's my biggest complaint about this. He clearly stabs her in the lower abdomen. The pancreas is actually behind the rib cage. You wouldn't hit the pancreas where she got stabbed.
Oh! Did they? I didn't get that far. So they said she did get.
Oh no! Not the pancreas. What was it? This her spleen.
Mm-hmm.
Her spleen is actually up here. You know.
So she did get hit in the spleen or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, they don't mention that until the next episode. Sorry. That's spoiler.
No. Yeah. No. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like this whole thing. She has a spleenectomy. And you know, it's great because her doctor does a lot of dad jokes. He says, "Let me explain it to you." Yeah, that was Jessica's reaction as well. So no, but all in all, I'm enjoying this season, and it has some really good qualities to it. We're definitely, you know, much in the same way that I kind of feel like, you know, the very end of The Punisher kind of had its own, it had a shift. It didn't end the way you expected it to. It ended very quietly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas everything prior to that was all explosion, 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 and this one ended real quick. And I can feel that. Likewise, this one is being a much different way of approaching Jessica Jones. I think it's a lot more cat and mouse, and it's a lot more of trying to navigate the world as a hero. So I really like this. Hogarth has a very interesting sub arc in this, and it looks like they're going to be doing some kind of an interesting Civil War kind of tie-in idea here. So that will be fun too. So
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting in the first episode, her calling Jessica, basically, if things get too bad with her medical condition, it's just like,
oh yeah,
she's like, what? I'm just supposed to decide when? She's like, I can't know what's coming.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, sorry, sneezing. It's like not quite out yet.
But yeah, like when Jessica was like, oh, about 1 pill or 2 pills, when Hogarth,
yeah.
I was waiting for Jessica to be like, see, you want to live.
Well, yeah. Well, because what we see is that maybe she, it's one of these things. She's not quite sure where she wants to go with this yet.
Mm-hmm.
She is taking some radical treatments, and it's an interesting problem for her to be dealing with, but it is an issue that she's going to be dealing with, and it is something that's going to be an ongoing question for her, obviously. I don't want to get. I've only seen 3 episodes, and so like I said, I don't want to spoil certain qualities of it for you, because there's a lot of neat twists and turns that the story is going to take over the next 3 episodes that really get you engaged and really make you go, "Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next." Well, that's why you can binge it.
But I do love that beginning of the first episode where she she tracks down the father who's fighting for custody of his daughter and takes her out of the country.
Yeah.
Jessica just like throws them all across the beach.
Yeah. Well, when the guy grabs her, says, "Don't make me get physical," it's like, really? Yeah, And also, for what it's worth, it kind of showed her that, for as much as the guy is saying, "I'm the good guy in this and my wife's the crazy one," that you realize, well, you're putting your hands on people, you're not necessarily the good one.
Yeah.
You broke the law, you took your child to Mexico. Even though the child wants to stay, it's like, you know what? There's a law here. And, and that you're so cavalier about it really suggests that there is a deeper problem here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, did Malcolm and the athlete, did that happen in this episode, or was that the next episode?
First episode. Yeah. With the car.
Yeah. And that was interesting. Just that he kind of took that onto it, and I wonder if that's going to come back yet. It hasn't come back yet. But we did see him be like, peeing in his, blood in his urine and that kind of stuff in the next episode. And I'm wondering if there is any kind of damage that he got from that accident,
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. It's an exciting new and final season, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, it's too bad that we couldn't have a more integrated cinematic and TV universe. I mean, not for nothing, the whole Thanos snap thing, it's kind of bugging me. Just the fact that, for what it's worth, that Marvel Studios knows they have these other properties that are tie-in properties, and they're not communicating with them. They're not properly communicating with them, and that's the frustration. Like, for example, with on this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where we do find out, and we also find out what I think is kind of the important point is that what the Chronotons are running from is the same thing that Sarge is dealing with. So which is one of these things where it's like, oh, gee, if we'd all come back and we could have all worked together, maybe we could have solved this problem.
Yeah. I just want to know what kind of mindset Sarge is in, because it's like, I don't know. He's just like, no, it's impossible. There's another, someone who looked like me on this planet. I'm like, aren't you the one jumping from Earth to Earth? That never
Well,
you that there's like,
yeah, but I think he thinks he's jumping from planet to planet, like actually,
yeah,
like Jupiter, like not to Earth, but but obviously they're all humanoids. They probably are going to alternate dimension Earths, so he may not even really realize what he's jumping through. And it's also kind of an interesting thing when he says about how he's older than she can imagine, because he makes this case that he's been on planets that move near the speed of light.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that's not how moving at the speed of light would work, because you're still a stationary observer, so time is still going to be passing at the same rate for you.
Yeah.
So if you go to a planet moving at the speed of light, yes, everything's going to move slower on it, but from your perspective, it's the same speed.
It just seems weird to me. Yeah. I don't know. Because he doesn't seem to realize he's Phil Coulson either. So something's going on there with him.
Well, yeah, and I think she might be hitting on it, and I think that it makes me wonder, because we keep on seeing these, the Tahiti image, her Tahiti dreams.
Yeah.
Which, not for nothing, are really reminiscent of Phil's old Tahiti dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder if there isn't something with Phil here that maybe this is Coulson, and it's just another, but one more mind wipe later, and or he's a Phil Coulson clone. Makes me think that maybe there is something where he actually is someone who was created here,
mm-hmm.
that he doesn't have the background, because when May says, I know where Phil Coulson grew up. I've seen his baby pictures, yada yada yada, and the other guy doesn't seem to have these memories of where he's from. Doesn't talk about them. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't even seem to remember his name's Phil Coulson either.
Mm-hmm. Well, his name may not be Phil Coulson. Well, that's the thing, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know, but it might be that he actually does not have any memory of where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
He might actually be of this mindset that he's actually whatever. Hey, is Tyler in Central Time Zone? Or no, he's in Eastern, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking there, because he said he'd be here at 8, and he's not.
I know. He might have. He might have to go into work early.
Yeah. Well, we all have our things we have to deal with.
Oh, but
we have children and things and work. Well, not me though.
Well, speaking of Tyler, Krypton started this week.
Oh yes, we're getting Lobo.
Yeah, Lobo showed up at the end of this.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm excited about Lobo.
I think I saw an article. I think they are already talking about spinning him off into his own show. And I mean, like I said, he only showed up in the last couple minutes of the first episode. Dude.
Well, he's a popular character,
Oh yeah.
I mean, like a lot of characters that are originally created just to be a parody of something.
Oh yeah.
People tend to not get the joke and make them super popular.
I know.
It really is. It really is just kind of that idea that it's like, Tom and Jerry, it's supposed, or no, what is it? Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner were supposed to be a parody of Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
But then they just got super popular because everyone's like, no, we like it when they drop stuff on them. We like ultra-violent cartoons.
And it's just weird. I don't know if I just forgot that it was like this first season or if they amped it up. But like this episode, it seemed like there was a lot of like cursing, especially the S word. There's a lot of S word in this.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it's after 9 o'clock, I think they can do that.
I can't remember. It's either 8 or 9. But I mean, it's sci-fi, so it's like...
Yeah, they've loosened up the 7 dirty words a lot,
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard before, it's like the cable networks, they can put on whatever they want. They can be dropping F-bombs, but it's just like, you're going to lose advertisers if you do that.
Well, yeah. I think there might be some rules for them, too, because I think they are still under the FCC. They do have FCC guidelines, but because it's a pay channel, it might be different than over-the-air broadcast.
Yeah.
Because you're not actually using the public airwaves to send the information.
Yeah, there's like a gateway you do have to pay, for a cable subscription or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, well, that's cool. I mean, I have not been following Krypton. Although I did like the first few episodes I saw of the first season. I said, "Oh, this is really good," and I really can't wait to watch this. And then I stopped.
I mean, I don't know if the break helped me, but the first season, yeah, I was getting bored towards the end. But I mean, this episode seemed a little better. Like it seemed like stuff was actually progress. It seemed slow some of the first season to me, and the first episode seemed to kind of progress. Seemed like there was some progression and
yeah. So just out of curiosity, they have the Phantom Zone in this?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because it got me wondering when I heard that. Oh, Seg was in the Phantom Zone. It's like, well, why didn't they just send Superman's great grandfather to the Phantom Zone? Why did they send him out to? Why did they throw him off the cliff instead? I guess they hadn't developed Phantom Zone technology yet.
Well, I think he did. I'm trying to remember if he said I think he did end up in the Phantom Zone because his great grandfather does show up again. So.
Okay, so they did send him to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for wearing a cape on Krypton, man. No capes.
And meanwhile, Zod has come back from the future and changed history because Adam Strange went back to the quote unquote present and everything was changed. Like Zod was in charge of whatever was left of Earth, which whatever was left of Earth was in Brainiac's little miniature bottle city and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, the bottle city of Kandor.
Yeah, the first season I'm sure you saw they did the pull back to the future thing where Adam Strange brought back Superman's cape and it kept disappearing, like Marty McFly's.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that it's like I said, you can argue it as a paradox that involves time, that there's a distance and so a time factor within your location that as you move closer to the event, the thing becomes less and less there because, of course, it was written out. And then, of course, when you do make the correction, it comes back. But then, as with Marty McFly, because of the changes to the timeline, it all came back differently. Yes, I think his brother's wearing a suit in that one. And then when he comes back, he goes, "Oh, no, I'm actually a young professional guy."
Yeah, wasn't he like working at a fast food restaurant? Yeah,
he was working for Pizza Hut, as I recall at the time. So, hey, good work. Nice tips. Anyway, so what else we got here? So Krypton's back. Cloak and Dagger is gone. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back.
Swamp Thing episode 3 dropped yesterday.
Oh yeah. So tell me about the Swamp Thing. It's this Barbolus Swamp Thing.
Well, Alec Holland's Swamp Thing now. I mean, they've been playing it a little, they're kind of doing it horror movie kind of thing. I mean, he stopped a killer in the swamp last episode who was chasing a young girl. Abby's like trying to track down because, in the first episode, her and Alec had hung out a little bit. So now she's like, "Are you Alec Holland?" And, all this. But as she's tracking him down, she gets introduced to this new character. Who's it? Played by Ian Ziering, from 90210 and Sharknado. He's the guy who becomes Blue Devil.
Oh, cool. Oh, that I can totally see that.
Because he even like introduces him. Because I guess I don't know if he's like he's I don't know if he's like a star. He does a movie of it or something. Because there's like he even like introduces himself because there's like a picture on the back wall of like him as done up as Blue Devil.
Well, no, I don't think he turned into the Blue Devil till he did the movie. Because that was like the curse of the devil who felt he wasn't giving a good enough portrayal of him, and he made him turn into a real Blue Devil. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Eventually, are we going to get a Blue Devil thing? Because what are they doing in DC Universe? Although, there's
the short answer to that, Philip, is no.
Yeah. I know, but it's weird because it's like, Swamp Thing's canceled, but they're still talking like a Titan season 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they might move that over to whatever Warner is going to be doing. I mean, honestly, as the tragic news that came out today is that we were supposed to be reviewing, what film we were supposed to be reviewing this weekend, Philip.
Oh, Man of Steel 2.
Justice League 2.
Oh, Justice League 2. I'm sorry.
Yes, Justice League 2, Electric Boogaloo. This would be the one with Gus Gorman. By the way, that is my fan theory, having read nothing of the Leviathan saga. Gus Gorman is Leviathan.
It's Bendis. Who knows? It could be.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be a very Bendis thing to do. I bet you he loves Superman 3. I will bet you he loves Superman 3.
I mean, he had that villain from Superman 4 show up for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 pages in one of his issues. So
yeah, so I'm telling you, man, you watch. Leviathan is going to be Gus Gorman, and because he's the super cyber genius, and he knows everyone's secrets, and that's why he's taken out all of these spy organizations. Because they're the one. Because obviously that's where he gets all this information. Realizes that they're too dangerous, and he says, "I'm going to take them out and set myself up as the one broker of knowledge." Bum, bum, bum. I predicted it years ago. There's a tape where I said that's what they should do with Gus Gorman. Bendis was obviously listening that day. And he says, "Thanks, Charlie. Great minds think alike." But no, I always say any idea I come up with, you're free to use. I will not sue nobody for it.
But no, I mean, I think I kind of see the writing on the wall. I mean, I was talking to you guys yesterday a little bit about this, but just Bendis is, I swear, is going to breaking up Superman's family because, I mean, we're talking, Bendis is bringing back Legion of Superheroes, and they're talking about Superman having to make a hard decision. So I think, I think he aged up Superman's son so he can go to the future.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think that's what and then he's going to be the Superboy of the 20th, just like Superman was the Superboy for the 23rd century. I mean, there's actually precedent for this in the comics. That, that's the fun of time travel. It's like I went there, I was a Superboy on 7 adventures with the League, and then when I came back, I'm still Superboy because nobody ages in comic books.
And I just wonder if it's that decision and what's going on now that are going to separate Clark and Lois for a while, because in that event Leviathan #1 this week, Lois is like with Batman and Green Arrow, and they're just like, they even run into Steve Trevor, and Lois is like, yeah, Superman's off planet. She's like, I didn't tell him what I'm doing. I guess trying to track down Leviathan, but she's working with Batman, but not with her own husband. It's just, well, she's getting her own book too, so I just wonder if this is their way of just
Well, maybe her and Steve Trevor will start a thing.
I mean, she is still.
There's nothing else they can commiserate about dating these people, Yeah, I know they're always running off or something. It's so Vicky Bale in there too. Only Batman girlfriend I know is Vicky Bale.
Catwoman.
She's not a cat. She's not really a girlfriend. She's
married.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Yeah, if they'd gotten married, then it'd be his wife, not his girlfriend. And as it is, I don't feel that they're not a couple. They're okay, sorry. Yeah, no, the kids have to get out of here. No. Get your shoes on, boys. Go downstairs.
It's time.
Yes, it's time for them to go get with Grandpa because they have the brother-to-brother breakfast.
Oh,
yes, cool. Yes, that's from Mama to her daddy. You'll give your daddy something else sometime. There we go. Getting my Father's Day hugs.
That's right. It's Father's Day weekend.
Yep. Thank you, Betty. Okay, have a good day, boys. Anyway, sorry for the slice of life there, folks. What? You can bring whatever you want. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, Lois is stepping out on Superman with Steve Trevor. I'm totally down with that. Honestly, like I said, I think that these supers take advantage of these poor folks, make them live the lie. Oh, don't tell anyone my secret identity. It's like, yes, as it is. That was actually one of the things I was thinking recently about Brightburn. And Brightburn's like evil and all that stuff right now, but he's also like what, 10?
Yeah, I think.
And it's just this idea that he's still going to mature. And it would be interesting to see the Brightburn story be, he started out as this petulant supervillain, and then eventually he grows into being a Superman. And he realizes, man, that's pretty sucky what I was doing.
But it's like, but it's like, how much damage is he going to do until he matures?
Yeah, well, just like Superman. Anyway, Yeah, but I was just, I was actually thinking it would be even cool if they do that Bright Burniverse, if they like actually introduce him to the wrench and he's like, that that little more mature, kind of older Batman type, and he sort of like mentors him and basically explains to him, you can't just kill people because you want to. They got to have a reason to be killed. Yeah. Because the Wrench was a very violent superhero. I believe that's what his name was, the Wrench. And super. Anyway, yeah, but what else is so?
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I was just throwing out some comics, but
yeah,
Hawkman 13 was very interesting.
Oh, good.
It was a one and done, which
okay. You don't get those anymore.
I know.
So
That's what I was gonna say. Just that these days, that's very rare itself. But it's just like they played with the reincarnation thing because it showed. It's the whole thing lately is they've been showing some of his multiple lives weren't even on Earth. Like he's remembering this. I don't know how long ago it was, hundreds of years ago or something. There was like these two alien races just battling generations on this planet. He reincarnates. He's on one side of the war, then he's on the other side of the war. Then he reincarnates again. He's on the other side of the war for like generations. He just like keeps inside. So, eventually, I guess he remembers enough where he just like kind of
says
like he starts offering food.
You guys doing him.
He starts like offering food to the other side because both sides are suffering. So he kind of he kind of brings peace to the and then eventually in the present he returns to that planet and they got a statue of him like offering food to the other side and stuff and
yay,
it's
humanity.
It's like neither side in the war returned to their respective planets. They all just like stayed there and like formed this new society, I guess, and stuff.
Oh, well, that's nice. So they were like an invading race of this other planet, and then they just kept on fighting out over this one planet.
I think it was just two. I don't know. They never even say why the two sides are fighting because even after a couple generations, the sides are like, "Why are we fighting?" I don't know, but it's just. I guess they were both from two different planets, but like they chose this planet as the battlefield. So when everyone was like, "Yeah, we'll just stay here," why go back to the send us to war?
Yeah, well, hey, why indeed? Why indeed? Oh, you know what we should talk? Superior Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yes. The Dias cast, my friend, which is like my new favorite catchphrase. And I love that is his that's his better. The Dias cast. It's just so perfect. That is my auto for you. I also just like how okay. First off, you have this great thing where he's like putting everyone in San Francisco out of phase with reality.
Yeah, so he's just like, yeah, it might be bad after a while, so maybe I should hurt myself.
I really got to do this quick because I have no idea what the long-term effect of that is. But hey, you got to act fast, just like me. Honestly, Reed Richards would have done the exact same thing.
Oh, I know.
Oh, 1 second, Bamp.
Okay. All right. So we were talking Superior Spider-Man. It's a War of the Realms tie-in. I like the inclusion of the West Coast Avengers. I wish Kate.
Oh, you forgot.
Join.
I told you someone else.
Yes.
I guess the tie-in book. There he is.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Just forgot the Father's Day card for his grandpa. Yeah. But I love them coming back. I love Gwenpool. Everything she says in this, it's just so perfect.
I know. It's like wait, well, we don't want to be, legacy characters get killed off in the crossover. And
yeah, exactly. And then just make this point, like that where she said, or the revamped characters that people like just long enough until people remember that they're they want the originals back, and of course they're kind of a team made up of people like that.
And I just love she's like, I wish Kate could join us, but I'm sure she's busy in another tie-in, which she
is, yeah. But she knows her stuff, man. That's what's great about it. But
But
one of and that
but there's
yes.
such pandering to you. It's Otto, it's Gwenpool, the Fantastic Four show up at the end.
Oh yeah, it's great. And actually, what I love about that is just I love once again just how everyone's like, yeah, okay, we heard you're cool, Otto.
Yeah.
It's like, the superhero community really is kind of just above the law. You gotta love that.
And even call out to this, one of those old John Byrne Fantastic Fours, because Otto's even like, Richards, at least you have shown me respect for my intellect in the past.
Yeah, well, this is true. Otto and Reed, they Reed is cool, man.
Yeah.
Reed knows. That's the thing. It's like Reed respects Doom's intellect. He just thinks he's a bad scientist because he doesn't check his math. It's got nothing but respect for Doom, but it's like, but dude, really, just do a freaking spell check on these things, Just go over the numbers one more time. Trust me, I know you got to do these things. But no, I love War of the Realms Spider-Man tie-in. That was really great. The other tie-in I read this because I didn't get to my champions, but I did read Journey into Mystery, which is actually out last week. And this is what I love about this is the cover where they're like wandering through the maze, and what's at the center of the maze? What's at the center of the maze, Phil?
Is it a dollar sign?
It's a dollar sign. They're just saying cash grab, but it is a lot of fun. Apparently, they give us the origin of Elsa Odensdottir, because apparently she does have three parents because she was conceived in the place between worlds where they also secured the essence of Sindar, the daughter of Suitor. Anyway, so she's got a little bit of Suitor in her, and this is kind of funny because they go to HenchCon because all the main villains are kind of wrapped up in this whole War of the Realms thing. So the henchmen kind of have the week off, so they're all having a little convention there. What I find funny about this, because at first I thought, because they all kind of go in costume to go to the convention because they were trying to figure out a way to get some money, and they figured they're going to try and knock over the casino by rigging the slot machines. But it strikes me, no man, it's a convention. Why didn't they all just go in costume and sign autographs?
Exactly.
It's I mean, what the henchman wouldn't want the autograph of Kate Bishop? And then they do. I mean, granted the hench guys are kind of like, oh, it's superheroes, we should fight them. But then I actually think that at the end they even say, why should we do that? And then we got Thori and Ares. Ares is back, which is the main reason I picked up this book. I'm hoping Ares does a face turn before the end of this. These are the guys from the Hellfire Club, right?
Yeah.
So they're the ones causing all the trouble, quite frankly. Hellfire mutants always causing troubles, but yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But Ares does still steal the baby and runs off, and now we have to go get the baby back in the final issue. I love this line from the cleaning lady after he trashes the place. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There's just maybe we should hear them out, man. Yeah, we're henches. Any fight we survive is a good one. That's where the henches decide not to fight the superheroes. But then the maid comes down and says, "There's some roided up wrestler fighting a giant dog in the honeymoon suite again." So, wah wah. That's always funny. But yeah, and then he runs off in his battle semi. Very reminiscent of our battle semi over in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. What else we got there, Phil? You got one?
Yeah, I got Silver Surfer Black #1 this week.
Oh yes, this is what happened to him in the black hole, right?
Yeah. He actually gets after he helps free everyone else who was trapped, in that first Guardians of the Galaxy issue. Yeah, he gets it's weakening him. It's almost like this black hole or whatever's sucking his powers, and he gets thrown it. I guess I saw Donny Cates was saying online that he gets thrown back in time because he runs into this dark world with all these alien races, and he helps them light it up, but he uses like a part of his power. That's why his one hand's all messed up.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
But then at the end, he runs into, because this is in the I don't know how long ago this was, but he runs into what is that, Null, the god of the symbiote.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really it's really interesting. But I wanted to bring it up too, because on the text page in the back, Donny Cates was talking about this whole thing. He was saying he was working on this issue when he found out Stan Lee passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, he's like, oh, now the pressure was really on, because he said he had heard somewhere before that, like, have you heard this before? That I guess Stan Lee said the Surfer was like the favorite of all his creations or something.
I've heard him say, I've heard him say stuff like that. Yeah, was very, very, very. Well, he was the guy who wrote the Silver Surfer comics, and so that was like, and that was where he got to be his like high-minded intellectual Stan Lee. That's where he got to be his the great spheres of the universe stance kind of guy. Humanity.
Yeah. Because Donny Cates was like, between that, and then he's like, and then I found out that, I was told that I was going to be, he found out he was going to be the first one to ever write the Surfer after Stan's passing. He's like, I deleted everything and started over. He's like, this had to be perfect, because he's like, I know Stan's looking down on this, and he's like, this had to be like a love letter to Stan.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. That's lovely. I do like when the comics creators do like acknowledge the history of their works and the greatness that came before them, that paved the way, as we say.
Well, yeah, because he even said he met Stan when he was a kid at one of the conventions. He took he had like the first issue of X-Men. He went in to get Stan the sign. So like he said he was all shaking and told him he could never thank him enough for everything he had done for comics and for him. And he said Stan looked up at him, smiled, and without missing a beat said, well, sure you can, try.
Yeah, that's our Stan. It's great regret in life that I never got to meet the man.
I know, me too.
Yeah, well, it's one of the many people that, after they pass, you go, I wish I would have gotten to meet them. Okay. Do we want to talk Immortal Hulk?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Still great, still wonderful. I'm guessing this is supposed to be Betty. The new Harpy is supposed to be Betty.
Yeah.
Betty was the original Harpy, because when we're getting the flashback, she's flashback to her, and she's saying, that's me, and she's watching the butterfly and all this kind of stuff.
I'd say they're definitely playing it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we get to see that. Our current General Fortran started out as Thunderbolt's driver and was, a relatively neat guy. And, we have the little parable of the butterfly caught in the spider's web, and, how the butterfly can't free itself without destroying the web, and yada yada. And sometimes the web is more important than the meal. That it's more important to keep the structure. And we get why we have our little messed up. And this is actually a question I was having there. The two heads, is that supposed to be Rick and Emil Blonsky?
I think so. That's the way I took it.
Yeah. Because I think the first time they designed it, they made them look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But this time now it looks like these are supposed to be two completely different people in there. And they starts vomiting the stomach acid, which apparently the Hulk's healing factor can't heal on. And what I also like in this is that, again, we have our cleanup crew come in, and then, of course, Harpy shows up, and that's pretty awesome.
At the end when she.
Well, I was just talking like the big splash.
Oh yeah.
But it is. I mean, and of course, Jackie McGee is getting very freaked out by all this. It's like you're just murdering people like left and right, and it's like, but this is Betty's murderous rage. We get her flashbacks to her time with Bruce, and what I like here, and it's just honestly, it's kind of almost sad because he's like back to childlike Hulk.
Yes.
because which I guess that's his defense persona when he is threatened, when he is he can't be the strong big control guy, so now it just becomes little child like Hulk. But then Betty kills him.
I just wonder if that's going to be like a red herring where I don't know if Harvey on some level knows that Hulk can't heal from the acid, but if he does a full death, he'll come back.
Yeah. I was going to say, what's the name of the book, Phil?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes. So, and she eats his heart. Butterfly was the name of the book. Honestly, it's a great book as always. Immortal Hulk is still one of the best books Marvel's putting out there, if not the best book Marvel's putting out there.
Right? Oh yeah, and the art's great. I wonder if that's some kind of metaphor, her eating his heart or whatever.
I mean, she's a harpy, but she's getting that gamma infused energy too, man. Hulk heart. I don't know if you ever saw Frankenstein versus. Was it Frankenstein versus the World, where the kid eats Frankenstein's heart and then becomes like a giant Frankenstein gaiju monster? Okay, it's a classic Japanese horror film, and Elvira's still in hell, and that's fun. Yeah, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She's stuck in hell, and she's trying to speak to the manager, and she's getting taken on a tour of hell with a guy by the name of Glenn, who is her Virgil in this story. But
which issue is that?
This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, number 6. Oh. And he makes the point about basically, demons are, the 1,000-year, like the inbred offspring of the stupidest angels, because it says, well, think about it. One day a guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm going to go wage war in heaven against the Almighty." To beat him up, and these are the guys that said, "We're with you, boss." Clearly, all the intelligent angels like, I don't think you can just beat up God, and he basically says, the offspring, the inbred offspring of literally angels who thought whose arms were too short to box with God or something like that, That's great, and then. And Glenn and Elvira meet a Minotaur at their next one. Yeah. She did meet Cerberus, who was a big puppy, and they had fun with that. And there's Sisyphus rolling back down the hill. That's like the easy part of the day, Anyway, really good. It's a fun book. Elvira wandering through hell. It's got its nice little meta gags, and it's a beautiful book, Phil. I highly recommend it. Oh, okay. Anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to go off and talk about stuff on super connectivity?
I got more books, but we can talk about it on super connectivity.
Okay, well, wherever's best, That's all the books I read this week. So
okay.
But if you want to talk extra books, you can definitely talk extra books on super connectivity or here, depending on what you're feeling, Phil.
And I know you have some theory. You have some far from.
I got lots of theories. I got lots of far from home theories.
So check out super connectivity for that. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So let's wrap this up. All right, Charlie Esser. All right, everyone. Send your thoughts on any of the TV shows, comic books we talked about this week. Any movie news. Send your thoughts, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Capes and Lunatics. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPE. And follow and check out Work in Progress, capesandlunatics.org. All right, Charlie Esser, let it rip.
Okay, well, you can always write to me in an old-fashioned email way the way Moz and Paz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things when my phone isn't out of power, which it was last night, which is why I didn't live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. @Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! There you go.
I was here when you say Moz and Pause. I just hear Tristan say, "What about Moz?"
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone, for another week. We have been the Capes
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
Yay!
See, we're gonna be short this. We're gonna be shorter this week. You'll
Well, that's good. You know, sometimes I think we run a little long.
have to.
I think that.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, I think the half-hour blocks are better, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, you can always spread the rumor that it's always Will Hellfire just talking. It makes us go. We miss you, Will Hellfire.
We do miss Lilith Hellfire. She makes this show great again.
She's working all day. She's
Oh,
she's
well.
working 8 o'clock tonight.
At least you get paid for that.
We should get paid for this.